to disenfranchise a lot of people, to rig the election before elections conducted. Yes, let's come back to it. But to say that people don't have the right to vote, people struggle for it, people died for it. You cannot just take it away on the basis of expediency and begin to defend the indefensible.
No. You see, I'm worried because we are being highly speculative about what is going on now. We are anticipating that INEC is not going to get these cards, PVC cards distributed. INEC has told us that they are going to do that. This is not the first time INEC is having problems.
A question I want to ask you is, do you have your PVC?
Of course. I just got in there, and within a minute.
So, Dwaki, do you have your PVC?
I have.
You do? Yes. Okay. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and continue with the conversation. But just before we go on that break, we do have some comments here that I would like to take in. KJO says, even though I haven't collected my PVC because I didn't find my name, the election should not be postponed. That's from KJO. Tochuku says, I believe the laws are meant for men and not meant for the laws. Therefore, if the NSA had advised for a shift, so be it. Nigeria 2015. That's from Tochuku. We'll take another break and we'll be back shortly. Please. Well, we do have a record of the INEC chairman insisting that the distribution of the permanent voters' cards will continue even until the eve of the election, if necessary. Let's listen to this.
Some people did continuous voter registration up to the middle of December, and we have not yet produced those cards. There are still some that have not been produced, but we are doing everything possible to ensure that before the end of this month, all the cards have been produced and made available for people to collect. We are still advertising and telling people to come out and collect before the 31st of January. But if push comes to shove, we can distribute up to the eve of the election. If it becomes necessary in polling units where it's not being collected, we can distribute up to the 13th of February, but we will cross the bridge when we get to it. So what I'm saying is that we can keep on improving the distribution mechanisms to make it easier to collect. But there is still the big issue, which is that if those cards are available and people do not come to collect these cards, INEC cannot be blamed for that. Will election hold on February 14th? I spoke earlier, I have said so. I have said everything we are doing, including the challenge of the distribution of permanent voters' cards, we believe is something we can address long before February 14th. So I don't know what else anybody wants me to say. We issued a timetable for election on February 14th almost a year ago. And we've been been very busy working to implement that timetable to the letter.
Well, Professor Atahiru Jega, chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, speaking about the distribution of the permanent voters' cards. Now, Achike and Mr. Dumaki, let's get you weighing on this. The big issue, people not going out to collect their permanent voters' cards. We have a mail that coming up, someone who said there are a pile of permanent voters' cards at some offices in Rivers State. People are not willing to collect them. Why would people not want to collect their permanent voters' cards?
It's Governor of Lagos State, Fashola, said does not have PVC. He does not want to collect. The Sultan of Sokoto said the field where does not have. Does it mean I don't want to collect? Let's not make excuses for incompetence or mischief. Why would INEC said the election said he fixed election 1 year ago? Why is it now that now saying you want to distribute it on the 13th? So if on the 13th you cannot distribute, what happened? Is that what remedy is put in place? You should admit that they have not handled this thing very well. And I've read something for if in Yobe State you say you have given where there's urgency, where people have fled, you say you have given it 1.3% of PVC. In Lagos, you have only given 3%. I know people who come to me, who tell me daily that they are going there, they cannot find their names. And they have not answered the one question. And when INEC is saying number of PVC received from who? From another body?
Okay.
Well,
where's the rest?
I think the issue is this. I think the question was clear, but you were asking about people who have not, gone to, to take their PVCs, their PVC cards, even though they're available. He is talking about giving examples of people who want to collect PVC cards, but who cannot collect because they're not available. It's very clear. There are so many PVC cards that are, at collection centers, and people are not going to collect. And somebody, I think one of the people that sent you a tweet, also said the same thing. Why are people, and that is the question, why are people not going to collect their PVC cards? Perhaps if they have collected, perhaps they had collected their PVC cards, we have less people complaining about non-collection of PVC cards. What are the reasons? I gave, instances. Perhaps some of them have become disillusioned with what has been happening in the polity. The fact that they actually went and registered in the first place and they now have permanent PVC cards shows an interest. But the fact that they have not been able to go back to collect these PVC cards could show a diminution of interest, a waning of interest, perhaps as a result of what is going on, or perhaps they do not believe anymore, that the system can remedy some of the problems that they are facing, that the country is facing right now. I don't know. You understand? But the reality is that not everybody, there are those who are genuinely complaining that they do not have PVC cards. But in some of these centers, there's no doubt that you have PVC cards waiting to be collected, and nobody is collecting them. I think this is basically is the issue. All right,
Walter Olowoyeye says, if I may ask, what do we stand to gain or lose if there is a shift in the election day? Is there any hidden agenda to it?
We should ask those who are saying you should not.
Well, the reality is, what do we stand to? I mean, we've had instances in the past where, we looked during for instance, Babangida administration, for instance, he spent about 8 years with, his transition program, and at the end of the day, what did we see? He kept on shifting the goalposts, kept on postponing and the rest. But it's about political will, because at the end of the day, we had one of the best elections in the history of this country. How did it end up? It was annulled. So it's not about postponement of election. It's about the credibility of the process. It's about the credibility of the people who are driving the process for this election. Now, if you shift this election by 3 months, what is the guarantee for those who are saying what is the guarantee that the PVCs will be provided before the election? What is the guarantee that in 3 months' time, that all the processes that are needed to be put in place will be put in place by INEC, that he has already described as incompetent? So if INEC has been incompetent for 4 years and they are not able to produce PVC cards, can they be counted upon to be competent in 3 months that he is talking about? So it doesn't make sense. That is why you cannot, the implication of postponing an election, like I said, will throw the country into a situation that some of us might regret.
Okay. Actually, the Electoral Act says elections should hold between 150 days and 30 days to the date of handover, right?
Okay.
So if these elections are shifted, you talked about it earlier. Would it breach any law?
You listen, it's not about shifting the election. It's about reason for shifting the election. INEC has told you. You understand that they are going to get these PVC cards across to Nigerians. And you don't want to listen to what INEC is saying because you feel that they have failed. They are doing whatever they are doing to remedy, whatever anomaly they have encountered in the system. I think that this is what the whole thing is. But we are speculating ahead of time that since they have failed up to this moment, they cannot be counted upon to succeed in making sure that Nigerians have their PVCs. I mean, this is the issue. We are just speculating that they are going to fail. They have not failed, actually.
Okay, Mr. Martin, you weigh in on that real quickly.
It is speculation.